Huh? You got a video you huh? Yeah, stop playing me, your hating ass bitch ass nigga. Okay. You hating on me for? You niggas hoes, man. I don't pay attention to no nigga.
Kodak Black might be behind bars, but he's still ruffling feathers in the free world. Now, after starting beef with NBA YoungBoy, insinuating that he's a snitch, well, the Project Baby is continuing to taunt the Baton Rouge rapper. On Sunday, April 5th, Kodak, he made a new post on Instagram where he accused NBA YoungBoy of being his clone, also for biting his style. Now, I don't know who gave him access to his phone, but he did post a series of photos to the gram. And Kodak, he gave examples of NBA doing something similar to him, whether it be the way he rapped, the way he danced, how he held the same hand sign, and the caption it read, "You my youngest boy, you really want to be like me? Jit to proof is in the pudding. I love you though, son, I think about you every day. I like how your manager dem backtrack to fix the snitching shit on the blogs, though cause that cooperation shit make the fam look bad. But it's okay, son, daddy ain't mad at you. It ain't nothing." Now, Kodak seems to have plenty of access to news stories because the snitching claim was made after there was an altercation at YoungBoy's house, and this resulted in the serious injury of his baby mama, LaPatra Lachey Jacobs, and that was at the hands of Floyd Mayweather's daughter, Liana. Now, apparently YoungBoy, he gave his full cooperation to the authorities. The two women, they began a verbal altercation which involved some hair pulling, but then it turned physical when Mayweather, she allegedly retrieved 2 knives from the kitchen and then she stabbed Jacobs twice. Yikes. So with Kodak Black taking aim at NBA YoungBoy, well, he wasn't gonna take this call out sitting down. In fact, he tweeted out, "You deserve to be stepped on with that clout chasing shit." Then on Instagram, he also posted, "Oh yeah, you proved you a bitch clout chasing now. You can't get no more attention. Bitch, you ain't no gangster." And if that weren't enough, well, then he also made some follow-up videos.
Then look, say 10. Oh yeah, I'm at your top 2 bitch with your hating ass boy. You be hating on me bad.
So now we know why they're beefing, but who's the true victor amongst these two artists? Now, some would argue that they're the 2 best rappers in the game, they're the most listened to rappers in the streets, and NBA, he was the most listened to artist on YouTube for the past couple months. The dude had streaming numbers literally exceeding everyone else. So that might make him the early victor, but Kodak Black, he's like the godfather of internet rap. So in this video, we're gonna decide who is on top. What's going on, fam? It's your boy Michael McCrudden back at it with another episode of Versus. Now, this is actually one of my favorite series that we do here on this channel, but we haven't done one in quite a while. In fact, the last time, it was in 2019, it was Eminem versus Nick Cannon. In that one, a whopping 93% of you guys, you voted for Eminem. No big surprise there. I got a feeling today's poll is gonna be a little bit closer. So stay tuned, you guys get to have your say a little later in this video. We got 3 rounds to get through, so let's get into this Versus video. Round 1, fight! First up for round 1, we're gonna talk about street cred. And seeing as who we're dealing with, well, this is a pretty long round. Now, Kodak has said it himself via Twitter tweet from 2017, "If I could change, I swear I would. I tried everything, but I'm just so hood." Now, this was after he broadcast a woman in a hotel room giving him some love down south, while other dudes were in the room watching. Weird. Now, in 2015, Kodak Black, he was placed in a youth detention center 3 times in 1 year. That's before he was placed on probation. He was then arrested in Pompano Beach and charged with robbery, battery, false imprisonment of a child, and possession. He then got caught tossing a gun from his car in Florida, and he was charged with possession of a weapon by a convicted felon, possession of marijuana, and fleeing from officers. Now, the next year, he was arrested and charged with armed robbery and false imprisonment. It was around this time that Atlantic Records, they stepped in to do what they could to save him from his legal troubles, but an outstanding felony criminal sexual conduct charge put a stop to that, and he remained behind bars. Now, when he finally got out in 2017, well, it didn't take long for him to get arrested again for violating his probation. Now, he got another year of house arrest, which he failed to do, and then he got 5 years of probation. Now, even from home, he was getting in trouble. He was posting videos to the Instagram, and in there, he got slapped with 7 felony charges, including child neglect, grand theft of a firearm, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and marijuana possession. The kid really should have stayed off the gram. So back to the slammer he went. When he got out, well, he got arrested again at the Canadian border in possession of weed and a Glock. By now, the FBI, well, they had taken an interest in the kid, and they were showing up at his shows. Now he's currently serving a 46-month stay in prison and he's gotten into scraps behind bars. He might also get hit with another 2 to 7 years as new charges, they seem to always be coming his way. Federal prosecutors have even stated that Kodak Black is a danger to society due to his long history of criminal acts as well as his repeated violation of past probation rules. Since finding fame, he's spent more time under some form of detainment than he has as a free man. So I'd say that's some pretty serious street cred. But how does our boy Never Broke Again compare? Let's take a look. Now for starters, in 2016, he opened fire on a group of people in South Baton Rouge. That was just like on the street. And from there, he was charged with 2 counts of attempted murder. Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one. He pled guilty to a reduced charge of aggravated assault with a firearm, and he was sentenced to a suspended 10-year prison term and 3 years of active probation. Now, just last year, a judge officially terminated Youngboy's probation for 2 counts of attempted murder, so that's good news, but still there's more. Now, the next time he was arrested was in 2018 over a warrant in the state of Georgia for allegedly committing assault. There was also weapons violation and kidnapping. And yeah, there is actually some video evidence. Then there was a shooting that happened in Miami that involved him and his girlfriend. Now she got grazed by a bullet and then an innocent man 43 years of age, well, he was actually killed. Now NBA Youngboy, he was said to be the target, but the whole ordeal, it violated his probation and he was incarcerated for 3 months and then he had to serve a lengthy house arrest, which we all know, well, that's how we're living these days. But for him, it's a little harder. I guess there's no baby mamas. Maybe he gets a break from the baby mamas. Anyway, he was on house arrest. Yeah, this is a tough round. Now Kodak Black, we all know, is nuts, but NBA Youngboy, he has friends who have been fingered out as the ones responsible for the death of rapper G Money. You know, the guy who grew up best friends with Fredo Bang. Yeah, and I don't even think Fredo with Youngboy, and I've seen old footage of them hanging out as kids. So sure, the street cred is big with both these boys. It's also horrific. Now, these guys have far too much street cred as far as I'm concerned, and I don't really want to glorify this, so I'm just gonna chalk this round up as a tie. I think that's fair. Round 2, fight! Alright, moving on to the next round, we're gonna talk about social media clout. This one's a little easier. Now, Kodak Black, he's amassed 8.8 million followers on Instagram at the time of this recording. He's also got 3.1 million followers on Twitter. He's got another 1.3 million followers on Facebook. On YouTube, he's sitting on 6.17 million subscribers with 3.3 billion views, but his channel has kind of fallen off. Currently, it's at 40 million views a month. Back in the day, it was a lot higher than that. Now it just kind of seems to be dwindling down. NBA Youngboy has 9.6 million followers on the gram at the time of this recording. He's got another 2.4 million followers on Twitter. He's got 1.2 million on Facebook. On YouTube, he's got 7.3 million subscribers with 5.3 billion views. And his channel is pulling in on average 240 million views per month. Now, to be fair, when you add all of these up, besides the YouTube views, we're gonna get to that in round 3. If you add up their social media clout, well, these boys are actually pretty neck and neck. There's only like a 1,000,000% difference. Now, I think Instagram and YouTube, they're the most relevant for an artist these days, so that would give Youngboy the edge, but it's still so close that I think we're gonna need one more round. So again, I'm gonna chalk this one up as a tie. Round 3, fight! All right, finally in the third round, let's break it down by what really counts. Let's talk about the music and let's talk about their streaming numbers. Now, according to Billboard, well, NBA Youngboy, he's only cracked the top 100 once, and this was in this year, and it was only in the artist chart. It wasn't for a song or an album. Now, Kodak Black, he has plenty of entries on Billboard with 2 top 10s and 24 songs charting in total. Now, ZZ had peaked at number 2 and Tunnel Vision at number 6. He also clocked in on the artist chart where he peaked at number 6, but that was back in 2017. So I actually think I found a better way to rate these guys' success. It's a new list. It's known as the Rolling Stone Artist 500. Now, it ranks the popularity of today's hit artists by album sales, audio on demand streaming activity, and digital sales of tracks from albums. NBA Youngboy is currently in the number 10 spot, but earlier this year he was at number 1. Now, Kodak, he is still on the list, which is a pretty big accomplishment given his current situation, but respectfully, he is in the number 81 spot. The Rolling Stone calculates that Kodak is pulling in 11.4 million streams over the last month, but this is versus Youngboy's 34.6 million. And like I said, earlier this year, he was in the number 1 spot. So I guess the proof is in the pudding. When it comes to who's on top right now, the answer is a clear one. NBA Youngboy. This guy is like a streaming phenom. No matter what he does, his numbers are always on the rise. But without Kodak Black, would he be where he is today? I mean, Kodak Black was like the first artist to get on the internet, blow up huge, and then become a criminal. He kind of like paved the way. So I guess it's a little up for debate. Would you have NBA YoungBoy without Kodak Black? I don't know. But if you're asking me who's on top today, it's certainly YoungBoy. Anyways, I want to hear from you guys. We have a poll above my head. That's where you get your say. Now, when we do a follow-up versus video, we'll announce the winner and we'll share it on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. All right, my name is Michael McCrudden. We're wrapping up this episode of Versus. Now, some of these videos do very well. Once we did one on Azzyland and Sniper Wolf, I think that's got like 3 million views. Like every day, just kills it. So let us know if you want to see some future Versus on some other celebrities. We could do Paris Hilton versus Kim Kardashian, or we can do Eminem versus Jack Harlow, just off the top of my head. Of course, we can do anyone, so let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in another video. Boom!